This is a transmission from the archives.
Hello, this is TMA1138, the Archives Backup Personality Bank. If you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe to help bring the archives to more people and help let the knowledge guide others. The archives thank you, and may the force be with you. Hello everybody, welcome back to the archives. My name is Tima, also known as the Master Archivist, and we're back, episode 6 of Ahsoka. And with 2 weeks left, I gotta say, I think Ahsoka's only really going up from here. In this week's episode, we get to see everything we've been waiting for. We got Ezra, we got Thrawn, we got new characters that are going to be made into action figures that I'm going to buy. With that being said, let's get into this transmission. We open up to Ahsoka and Hu Yang. We're still within the Purgle, traveling to the next galaxy here. And surprisingly, this episode didn't really feature them beyond this. Which is understandable. I mean, Ahsoka got a whole episode arc last week. Phenomenal. Check out that video. But Ahsoka and Hu Yang, I like that they go to exchange stories. Hu Yang used to tell stories back in the Jedi Temple. And he begins the story with saying, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And I thought it was just great, you know, a little on the nose, but it was fun. A lot of people now are theorizing that, you know, because of Hu Yang's age, that everything we've seen thus far is told from the perspective of Hu Yang, which is kind of cool. I mean, you know, that's a fun thing, kind of gives him a little more, I guess, more strength to the story, I suppose, if I want to call that. But then, to go on to pretty much the main episode here, we do get to see Sabine, who is, though going on her own free will, is being held captive here. As they travel through the Eye of Sion, she speaks to Baylan Skoll on her desire to see Ezra, and how being locked in a cage may not be the most ideal part. Just like Vader, when he was, you know, changing the deal with Lando, he was just like, well, that's just how it is. Pray I don't alter it further. But when we come out to the planet Peridia, which looks to be the former home planet of the Dathomirian Night Sisters, which I like because it does establish that their magic is from another galaxy. So that's why, you know, in the main universe we deal with, it's always really been the light side, the dark side, it's just the Force. But then we get the magic inclusion. You're like, where's this been the entire time? Just one planet? That seems kind of odd. But you learn something from this galaxy. So who knows what other unknown terrors are lying out here? My human mind can't even conceptualize that. But moving from there, I like the Sabine's taken to they're called the Great Mothers of the Night Sisters, who use what's called the String of Destiny to basically look into the future. And I like they just established someone reeked of Jedi. Everyone, of course, assumes it's Sabine. Could be Baylan, could be Shin. We don't know. We really don't know where their loyalty lies exactly. As mercenaries, I suppose it's wherever it benefits them. But Sabine is sent from one cell to another, which becomes the least of her issues, because while she's locked up, she hears this eerie sound. And when I was watching this live, it did actually like freak me out for a second. I was like, what is that noise? And here we get Thrawn's Star Destroyer come into the proximity here and dock. And when Thrawn stepped out, it looked great. At first I was like, I don't know, looks a little older, not too sure. And then when he started speaking, I'm like, oh my god, he's captivating. Oh my god. So basically, we get to see that. We get to see his night troopers, which is led by a new character, Captain Enoch. And their armor, really cool, because it's broken but repaired, kind of like Kylo Ren's helmet, which is in the similar style of Japanese, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Kitsugi, where they actually take a, like, usually broken, like, pottery, and they actually put it back together using, like, gold. And it kind of like symbolizes something that was broken and put back together, which I assume is because they might be reanimated. Thrawn mentioned most of his troops died, but he has a great big army, so it could be Night Sister magic, you know. And there they actually take Sabine to Thrawn, and Thrawn's like, I plan to do good on my deal. You're free to go. Here are your weapons. You get this Howler steed here, a Howler mount. Go into the wasteland, find Ezra. But when we leave, that's it. You're stuck here. And then, of course, while she's doing that, he also turns to Baylan. He's like, oh yeah, by the way, make sure you kill them. So that's going to be betrayal number 2. We have Sabine being betrayed, being locked up. Now we have her being hunted by Baylan. And of course, being hunted, she's out in the wasteland. She comes across these Noti raiders, and they're just trying to kill her. And she actually holds herself very well, using like her gauntlets, all her tech, her blasters, but she gets overwhelmed by sheer numbers, and she whips out the lightsaber, and we gotta thank Hu Yang. She really did well with that lightsaber. Just dispatch them and end up moving on. On her travels, she comes across a group of Noti. I'm confused because there's like the Peridian Raiders speak Noti, but then there are these characters which were called Noti, who they're like little like hermit crab people, and they bear a wooden rebellion symbol. And Sabine does her best to kind of communicate that she's looking for Ezra, and all of them kind of like group up like, all right, you know what, I think we could take you. And she ends up actually meeting up with Ezra. And though his first look on that hologram to me was a little goofy, the casting for the series is crazy. Ezra looks great now. He has the beard, older Ezra. He's sporting looks like native Noti clothing. And Sabine doesn't get into anything, be like, oh hey, Thrawn's still here, this going on. I'm positive Ezra's aware, but like there's a lot going on. She's like, we'll talk about it later. I was sitting there like, are you kidding me? Now's the time. But they end up packing up the camp because apparently that's how they avoid the raiders and stuff, is to constantly, be a nomad, I suppose. But speaking of attackers, hot on Sabine's trail, of course, is Baylan Shin. We get a little backstory. We learn that for a new lore term, that Shin is trained as a Bakken Jedi or Boken Jedi. Those are basically Jedi trained outside the Order. It's kind of like a post-Order 66 idea. And that Baylan is training her just to be better than the Jedi ordeal. So maybe not so dogmatic in her views, perhaps. But then from there, she goes on to ask Baylan, like, hey, you were in the Order. Do you miss it? And it's been a meme over the past week, which I've enjoyed. But he's like, I miss the idea of it. And then he basically goes on to say, like, oh yeah, these witches and stuff, we're probably going to betray them and Thrawn. And I'm like, damn, betrayal number 3 in this episode already? And then it cuts back to Thrawn and Morgan Elsbeth. They go back to the Night Sisters to basically say, like, we're going to have to kill the Purgle if they enter because they sensed Ahsoka's coming. And then Thrawn's also like, yeah, we don't really need these mercenaries anyway. And from there, it's like, and you're going to take them out to 4 betrayals in one episode. It's a back-to-back-to-back-to-back. But overall, phenomenal. Great episode. And go check it out. Of course, on Disney Plus. Check out the other episodes, and I have the watch-along posted here as well. And with that being said, that's been this transmission from the archives. My name is Tima, the Master Archives. Thank you so much, and may the Force be with you.